days. So it's just me. I'm in charge of doing the Challenge All-Stars Season 2 finale video, and Scotty is in charge of doing the Amazing Race Episode 3 video. It's been a crazy week for both of us, mainly Scotty, not to put the blame on anyone, but he's just been super busy and we haven't had time to lock it down together and do this together. So we just made an executive decision. I get one video, he gets the other video. And then this week's episode, because I'm filming this right now on Wednesday, this week's episode of The Amazing Race will probably be up a couple days late as well because he's still got some stuff going on. But then we'll be back on track. We'll have just The Amazing Race going on for a minute, which makes it a little easier for everybody. And then we got Big Brother coming. We got Celebrity Big Brother coming, and that is like so exciting. So we will be doing that too. But for a minute, we'll get a little break with just The Amazing Race, and we're going to get our schedules realigned and figure stuff out. I'm a mom of 3 that works, and he is a student that works, and we don't live in the same area anymore. So it just gets a little tricky, but we do love doing this and we are doing our best. So let's get into it. The Challenge All-Stars Season 2 finale, the final, the part 2 of the oh my God. Amazing. But we will get into it because if anyone noticed, Janelle did go online and basically say like she was going on Derek's podcast. And just was gonna talk about more of what happened because there was more of a situation with the locks and things like that, and the way it was edited made it a very different finale to her. But she said she wanted to wait to see how they edited it and showed it before she spoke on it. So Scotty did listen to the podcast. I didn't, but I got the bullet points, so I know. And I kind of figured she was gonna say something like that. I was sure it wasn't gonna be too, I don't know, too like mind-blowing. Not to say that these aren't situations, but you know what I mean. I didn't think it was gonna be like too crazy, and it really wasn't. So yeah, I will mention that, but let's just get into it. I loved it. I don't know about you guys, but it's like, especially after seeing Spies, Lies, and Allies, their final versus this, like, this is a real final. This is a challenge final. There's sleep deprivation. There is multiple aspects to it. There's an eating portion. Like, this final was, I mean, there was aspects of it that was just like, I'm an athlete. I'm someone that likes to like bust my butt, but like this, that's a lot. And in the heat like that, like they were in Cancun, right? And they were literally like, I think Janelle did say this, like they, but they kind of brought it up on the show too, but she was like the biking part of it was like, it was like some odd miles this way and then some odd miles back. So like total for one trip, when you're doing multiple trips, like you're doing miles and miles. Like it's not just like a little annoying kind of maybe mile bike ride. It's just like more than that. And so like, it's a lot. So basically when we get to this episode, like they are doing, the second half of the final where it was like, or was it the full final? Oh my God, it's been so while. It's been a while. In the final, they had to get, so the first half of the final was 3 different sections. They had to run from the beach to start, and it was 3 different, yeah, so no, this was I think the full final was in this episode. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. There wasn't 2 parts. My mom brain's crazy. Doesn't matter. Whatever. We're moving on. Listen, it's been a week since this, so, you know, whatever. Over a week. It's been like a minute. See my mom brain now. I'm like, was it really over that long? Anyways, I digress. So they are on the beach and teacher's like, okay, let's go. You got to run to this area. When they get there, he had explained that there's going to be like this mandala that they have to make. So there's 3 different pieces. So there's 3 different things that they have to complete to get that, and then the last place person is eliminated. So like, you don't want to be last. Before they do the second half of the final, they're eliminating people. Part of what Janelle did say was that they showed Melinda and Nehemiah getting lost in the beginning and following the wrong arrows, but apparently like they got lost too. Like almost everyone got lost. Like it wasn't just them. Everyone was sort of confused and made a mistake. And so, but based on what we saw on the show, it looked like just Melinda and Nehemiah just like really messed up. And then she did end up like hurting her ankle. So it was like they really kind of had to like come back from being very down. And then also like the biggest part was really that Tech and Ayanna just sort of both shit the bed. Like they want to blame it on at the very end, Ayanna like ultimately saying like I'm done, but like Tech had already quit on her when they were doing their second part to get their like other piece of the mandala. Like one of the parts was you were biking tethered together to get these big large puzzle pieces and create a puzzle, and that one was just taking people really long based on how far they were biking and stuff, not just being tethered together, but like it was just they were putting in miles. Like this was not something you could, it's not a sprint, it was a marathon, right? And then the other one was following these arrows to this dark cave and using this light to find different pictures that had a dot that correlated to this like key, like a code key thing that you had to put together to get the letters to fill out like a saying or a couple word saying, and then you'd complete that. So then the last one was literally one of those memorization puzzles, you know, like the kid games where it's like you flip the thing and then you match the other one. And so they would run to this area that had the key, and then they had to come over here and do it. And if they messed up, they had to run all the way back. So it was basically like you had to remember and be like, okay, I know this one's this one and this one goes with this one. And if they didn't get that right, they're running like a mile or so back, re-looking at the puzzle and come back. Even if you like remember, oh, that's the wrong one, it doesn't matter. You have to go back. So that one took a lot of time too. I'd say everyone did better with the cave one, except for Ayanna and Tech, because that's where they screwed up. That was their second one, and they were just, Tech was like, I don't get it. I don't want to do it. I'm done. And Ayanna actually picked it up for them. Like she was the one that was like, okay, no, I think this must mean this. Okay, this. And then she was doing it, and he was just sort of gave up, and she was doing a lot of it. And once she was starting to get it, and it kind of explained it to him, she was like, I mean, okay, we're already halfway done. Like if you want to help me, like I know what this is, like we're gonna go do this, like I'm not giving up. And so then he kind of came back around, but she pretty much did that one. Then they get to the last one and they're exhausted, and it's the memorization puzzle, and she's like mentally done, physically done, like just struggling. But at this point, because basically at this point MJ and Joanna, I always say it wrong and I love her to death and I know her name, but Joanna? No, Joanna's the other one. Joanna. Right? Don't judge me. Don't judge. You know what I mean? And so, this is so bad. I really do love her. She's a Scorpio. She's a mom. She's badass. We love her. I just have an issue with names, remembering names, saying them correctly. I'm a loser. So, roast me if you want to. Put it in the comments, though. Thanks for the engagement. Thanks. Anyways, so at this point, at that same, well, the way they edited it at least, at that same point that Tech and Ayanna were losing it, MJ and Joanna, no, it's Joanna. I always mix her up with, you know what I'm talking about, Wes's ex. I always mess up both their names. I intertwine them and switch them, and then I think I just start saying shit that's like some weird off version of the two of them. So we're just gonna say Jay, because I'm so sorry. Listen, we're just trying to get this video out at this point, and I do love you, so I'm sorry. At this point, they're doing the memorization one, the flipping of the thing, one, two. Wait, no, so yeah, they were on the same one. Yeah, and so basically they had messed up twice and had to run back twice, and they're like, kid, this is what's gonna screw us. And then Jay was basically starting to lose it. Like she was like, feeling defeated, and then just like, I can't do this. Like I just cost us the whole final. We had a flawless game. We never even had to go into elimination. Oh my God, like our social game, what the you know? And so she's losing it, and MJ's just like, no, we're gonna keep going. Don't give up. We're gonna keep going. And eventually she's just like, Kate, I'm not gonna give up. Which I knew she wasn't gonna give up, because I've heard her say that before, but like, this girl is a badass. Like, she does not give up. She had an 8-month-old at home and went and ran a final for the first time and came in, what, second or third? Like, girl, no. Like, she's better than she ever used to be, but she's always been all heart, and she's always been a badass, and I've just always been like, I love her. So so she finally is like, okay, no, I'm not gonna give up. But luckily for her, regardless, like, in that moment, Ayana's like, I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna pass out. Like, I'm gonna pass out. I can't remember this. You know, I don't believe in quitting, but sometimes there does come a point, like at one point I was like, maybe Melinda should quit. Like, she's really going to hurt her ankle. You know what I mean? Like, but then at the same time, like, you know, she chose to keep pushing through that, which was so iconic and just so admirable. Like, she was calling out, like, for her baby girl that she lost, like, for strength from her. Like, stop. Like, I'm literally going to cry right now. No, this mom shit. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I'm a mom and I'm not on that, like, mode of the original show where they just get drunk and fuck each other. Like, I'm a mom, and I think moms can still be badass, and I'm just live for the fact that we get to watch all these moms come back, because they've always let dads come back, and it's been so rare that a woman comes back with kids and a career and a family and can just, I guess they felt like that couldn't sell. But, you know, for women, it's the sex sells, period. And for men, they get to just, you know, like, you get better with age and whatever, and they leave their families or whatever at home for moms to deal with, and they go fucking do it. But I am like a firm believer in, like, just because you become a mom, like, your life is not fucking over. Like, you can still be an athlete, you can still be a badass, and we know this, but we don't get to see this on our TV screens like that, and not on like an MTV show. Like, we don't get to see that. So seeing this has been just awesome. And that moment with her, I mean, hands down, like, one of those moments that just makes you, like, I don't know, just struck a nerve. I just fucked with it. I thought that was amazing, and I think she should be nothing but fucking proud of herself. The fact that she got to run it with her real world original cast member and friend, and like decades later, and having, you know, previously just lost a child, and just like this, she is, you know, someone that you could just like look up to, and it's really fucking cool. And I love this shit, and I just think it's so much more entertaining than seeing people get wasted and just like forget that they fucked someone. Like, that's cool, you know, right? Like, that's entertaining sometimes too. Like, I've been there, done that, but I'm at a different phase in my life. So watching these people in a different phase in their life but still put on a badass show is just like reiterating that, like, your life does not end just because you age. Like, it's not like, oh, you hit 25, you're done. You can't have a fun career. You can't be on MTV. You can't do this. You're a mom. That's all you are now. Like, it's like you're not even a person anymore. Like, so it's been really cool to see that. Sorry, I went on a tangent. That's probably a big reason why I love it. I think it's just also like this final is like a real final. The show, regardless, like, these challenges have been real shit. Like, it's been what made me fall in love with the show to begin with. And then seeing these people grow as people and come back, it's so amazing. It's like the coolest thing. It's like half the time, once these people leave and like truly leave and go have families or whatever, except for a handful of the men, you never hear from them again. And when this show was really like in its prime and like doing it, and these people were on it, social media was not what it was. There was like MySpace. So these people were not famous like that. So they've really had just sort of gone into obscurity, which was cool in a way. Like, you get to just go be a normal person now, and you have these memories and whatever. But it was like to get to see these people that have sort of just like disappeared, and you wanted to know because you get invested. And now we get to have it, like, literally like a decade later for some of these people, 2 decades later. Like, that's crazy. I never would have thought I would get to see them do something again, get to know what happened, like, just all of that. So I just think that's why All Stars just fucking kills it, and the original is just a snooze fest, because it's anyways. I'm still on a tangent, but okay, so she continues, and MJ and Jay continue, and then Ayanna ultimately is like, I'm tapped out. And it was disappointing, but it also wasn't shocking to me because it was like, that has been her energy to me. I'm not gonna go there, but it's really giving Sagittarius vibes. It's the and then not much to back it up. Only half-ass back it up. Like, but at the same time, like, I hate the fact that they're saying like she quit on, and like, oh, poor Tech. Tech quit long before that. If she didn't finish that other part, he would have had them like eliminated and quit long before she got to her tap out. She had to do for two of them in moments to get to here. Yeah, she was probably fucking tired. Like, you know, it is what it is. I never like quitting, but I don't think any of them should feel bad about it at that point. They had both been through it and whatever. And it was a tough final. Okay. So she chose to quit, and, you know, Tech was decently nice about it. Even TJ wasn't mean like he normally is about it. And they were close to they were probably going to get eliminated because MJ and Jay had decided to keep going. So, but ultimately they heard the horn. So then it was like they didn't even have to finish, even though they were almost done. And it was like Ayanna and Tech are out. So then we get to the sleeping portion. Part 2. And this is what we missed in the fucking final of Spies, Lies, and Allies. This is a real fucking final. Like, you should be sleep deprived, food deprived, then you have to shove nasty shit down your mouth, then you gotta fucking run like you're gonna throw up. Like, that's a challenge final. That's TJ's final. Not this other, like, this is some watered down shit they're putting on the regular show. Like, it's not giving, you know, like, I just don't get it. Like, that's why they're ultimately winning some of it is like not as impressive to me. Like, good for you still, right? Whatever. But it's not their choice how the final goes. It's production. It's not even TJ, but, you know, so it's just like, it's just, they really need to pick it up a notch, or like just take the regular show off and like stick to All Stars. Don't even call it All Stars, just call it the show. And you can even take it off Paramount Plus and throw that on MTV. Like, your ratings, I guarantee, I did not look into the statistics, but I guarantee that Paramount Plus, the All Stars 2, gets way more views than the original show that is airing on MTV right now, because it's just become, the themes are not giving. Some of these returning characters are not giving. These new international people they're bringing in, some are cool, some are duds. It's like a hit and miss, and it's just like an oversaturated, just like, you know, it's just not what it used to be. But there are still the rumors going around of it being an X's season coming next, and I'm like, MTV, you need to do that. Like, you need to do something like that just to try to resurrect this shit. But also, like, we deserve that. Like, come on, can you cast it right? And it's gonna be amazing. Anyways, so the second part is the sleeping aspect. So this was the like stand on a log or like sleep in a hammock kind of thing, and it's take turns. So all the women are like, you can go first, men, which I'm like, this is why I'm like, women are badasses. Everybody, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? The men are always the ones like complaining. And like women, like, we fucking birth children. And like, we don't get no fucking, and I was never this person that was like, feminist, but I swear to God, like, it's so crazy now that I realize it. And like, you know, I'm a parent and I'm parenting with my partner and I love him to death and he's amazing, but I'm just saying, like, I do majority of the shit. Like, he works one more day than me, I stay home one more day, but overall, like, we try to even it out. And I'm gonna be real with you, I bust that shit. Like, I do. Like, he has to work the next day, I'm too tired, I can't do that. I have to work the next day, still gotta fucking do that. You know what I mean? Like, so moms are just, women are just, so whatever. So that was interesting that the women all chose to go first, the men slept, and then they kind of switched off a little bit. It did start to rain. It was just what it was supposed to be, right? It was like supposed to be like 12 hours, I think. And then TJ comes and he's like, all right, let me take you to like the second half, or they run over there or whatever, and it's the nasty ass eating challenge, which is the one thing that gives me a fear of going on these shows, because, well, one, they probably wouldn't cast my ass anyways. I'm just saying, that's like the one thing I think about if it ever were to happen, is like, this is where I would probably fucking lose, because I'm a vegetarian. So half this shit is animal. And honestly, for the money and now being a mom, like, I started thinking about it and I was like, I might just make myself super fucking sick and shove that shit down, but Like, I never had a gag reflex until after I've had all my kids, and now I do, because they made me throw up so much when I was pregnant, and I was never someone that threw up, like, ever. So now I'm just like sensitive. And I mean, I my boys are only 2, so like maybe I'll grow out of it, give it a little minute, a little bit more. I had twins, so maybe, you know, they say it takes like a year with them. There was 2 of them, so maybe it's like 2 years, like maybe give me a couple months or like a year from now, and I'm gonna be like back to no gag reflex and back to me. But I don't know, they just really fucked with me. But I'm like, that money, like, I'm very competitive too, so I'm like, I don't know, I might just start, but I'll be throwing up. I would be throwing up. But Janelle and Darrell fucking killed it. And then MJ and Jay were doing pretty good. MJ was struggling. He was struggling, but he wasn't stopping. Melinda and Nehemiah were having a little, they took the longest, but all of them really were like shoving it down. And it was really more Nehemiah. Melinda was fucking killing it. She was like she's so pretty and stuff, and you just don't expect someone so girly to just be able to just like go ham. But she fucking went in on all this shit. So, you know, I digress. They all did very good. Then they had to run down like this little, it was like an airplane, it was like a plane strip, like a landing strip almost type thing, area. And they had to run down that, and then there was these 3 puzzles they had to solve, and it's fucking math, yo. Like, it's hard for me. But it was like, they had to solve one of them to get the key to figure it out, because it was like pictures that equal a number. So they're like, you know, trying to figure it out. And then I think Janelle got it really fast. MJ and Jay were pretty good. And Melinda and Nehemiah did okay, but it took them longer again. And then after that, it was like, once you got that, you got the numbers were correlating to the key to a lock that would unlock $500,000 in your safe, and you put it in your bag and you run it back down, and then you get to TJ first, and he's in this like little private like jet type thing, and like that's who wins. So like we're getting down to it, right? And according to Janelle, apparently MJ and Jay did finish first and ran down there, and there was a lot of confusion on this part that we didn't see. But based on the show and what we saw, it looked like Janelle and Darrell got there first. And then everyone on the show was having trouble. But according to Janelle, everyone was truly having trouble. It wasn't just the edit. The locks were not working right. And then also people were not reading the sign next to it that was saying to like go to this first and then do it. So everyone was like kind of screwing up, and then everyone's was stuck. And the first people that got it open was MJ and Jay. And then I think everyone just, I mean, maybe at that point, I don't know if that was part of the rules, but I don't know. It seemed like everyone gave up. Like they got it, they threw all their shit in there, and it was like they started sprinting down there, but also it was like no one was behind them trying to like get their shit and sprint, you know, which was confusing to me. I don't know. So it was really cool though. I really thought Janelle and Darrell were going to win, which I was happy with. They're both from the Bay. I'm from the Bay. What's up? Darrell is daddy. Sorry, for real. And I just loved them. So yeah, I really thought they were going to win. And I was, you know, Nehemiah and Melinda were like the underdogs. They had to work the hardest this season. And I really did want to see, that's my daughter. Just freaking ignore her. She thinks it's hilarious. I really did want to kind of see them win, but they weren't my top pick, and everyone was pretty close, but they were definitely the bottom. So I was really expecting third for them. But I really thought Janelle and Darrell were going to take it, and they didn't. And I was actually kind of okay with it because Darrell's won a bunch. You're so funny, P. Mom life. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up really quick. But MJ and Janae win, and it's really cool because MJ's won before too, but it's been so long since he was on the show. I love both of them. I loved their pairing. I just think it's really cool that we get to see people that are married and have families that haven't been on here in forever get to work together. And it's like, I feel like a lot of the teams back in the day only worked because someone was effing somebody, and it's just so mature, and it was just like a real working relationship, and it was just cool to see that there was so much admiration and respect between them. And it's platonic, because people like to act like men and women can't be platonic like that, but bitch, they can. It's called maturity. And just human to human. It's humans, like, you know, whatever. So TJ's all like, how do you guys feel? Da, 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 da. And I guess, I mean, they were very excited, and I'm so excited for her. And that, you know, they brought in the clip from last season of Yes being like, I got the crown, come get it. And so they obviously told her to be like, she's like, well, now I have the crown. And it was really cool. She really deserved this. The flashbacks of her being partners with like Zach and all that shit that she went through, it's just like, for her to now be a mom and happy and married, and to come back and do as well as she did last time, and then come back and win, it's really cool. And the fact that she got to do this season in Cancun, where her original Real World season was, and she got to do it with 2 of her other castmates. They didn't last as long as her, but to do this, it's like a full circle moment. It was really cool. It was great. Freaking loved it. I gotta go deal with these kids, but apparently there's not gonna be a reunion. I don't know. That's what I was seeing. We'll see if there's anything. We'll catch you up on that. They did give us, real quick, they did definitely let us know. Stop. That's why. He just wants to be near me. Anyways, they did let us know that there is a 3rd season, which is like, so exciting. We did get to see some of the cast pictures. I saw it on one of, I think it's the challenge or challenge shade room or something. I will post them in here, screenshots of it. But apparently who's going to be on it, the men and the women, and it's looking so good. And apparently it's in Panama, and yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. It was a great final for me. It was a great, you know, finale. It just like gave me goosebumps. I was so happy. I'm gonna get back to these kids. Look out for the Amazing Race video that Scotty's gonna be making on his own without kids in the background. In the meantime, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Say bye. Say bye.